Welcome back to Light Talk, where the paranormal and the supernatural is a part of our everyday lives. We have a fantastic guest for you tonight. Lots of stories, lots of things to be going over. So we're going to get right to it. So let's welcome her. So go ahead and introduce yourself and welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm Megan Hartling. I go by Intuitive Megan is my business name. I do readings, I do sound healing, I work on mindset coaching, um, I do crystal healings, candle spells. I do a lot.
So everybody connect with her. So keep her going, keep her busy. So yeah, great. It's great stuff for you. So how did you get started in all of this stuff?
Let's see, where do I begin? So I would say about 15, 18 years ago, I got into a lot of like sound healing and meditation, all that Reiki. I started Reiki first, and I got the one sorry, I'm talking number one, level one, there you go. And then from there I decided I wanted to apply at this occult shop called Harry's Occult Shop as a reader. So that's where my journey really began. I started reading there. I also then really liked the show Paranormal State, and during that I started becoming like going on like little ghost trips with them and learning stuff from there. So then I kind of took medium classes from there. It's a big journey.
That it is. That it is. I know I'm still in my journey, which we all are, but yeah, I'm starting to get movement going. I've got the movement going and it's feeling really good and excited about it. It's a process.
It is.
Yes.
And I'm working to make the process come about, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I work a day job too, and then I do this when I get home. So I'm like, by the time I get here, it's been fun, but it takes time when you have another job you're doing, and yeah, it takes time. It takes time. So we got this.
Right.
Yeah. So you have gotten all kinds of stuff when you were a kid. You had some experiences and stuff as a kid. So let's go ahead and start there. Talk about some of those stories.
Um, this is a crazy story. Um, when I was younger, about like 7 or 8 years old, my father got invited to go to this garage where there was like all these like statues. And I remember it. It's like one of my weird memories that I completely remember being like in this weird garage with all these statues, what I didn't know where they came from or anything because I was young. So my dad and my brother was like, I guess the guy was giving him to him because and then once they started, when they got to my house, that's when things like started to get like a little weird. Like, my mom swore the one was like a demon or something. She like cut its ears off, like had like horns. I still remember exactly what it looks like. And um and it's weird because then when like fast forward, my mom would always say it was like cursed or something because just like the amount of things that happened to our family. And when I started working at the cult shop, I started like really thinking about it. And then I started watching old videos I had. And I actually had a video of me holding it when I was like probably like 8 or 9, saying, I'm going to kill the demon. And my mom was like saying how I'm like trying to like, you know, protect it so that it doesn't harm us or anything.
Right.
And it's
Okay.
strange because, yeah. And then it was strange because when I was working at the cult shop, I worked with many people, and so I started even asking my brother. And my brother said that what happened was is the guy that had them, or where he went to like Africa, and he basically like gave everyone Bibles and then took all the statues. So those were all like statues that people worshipped, and that was their gods. Um, the people I worked with theory was it was like kind of protecting me. It's not evil, or anything like that. I mean, who knows really, but he thinks it protected me throughout my life.
Wow.
And it's crazy because I have images of it, so it's not even like I can pretend it's not real, you know. Like if I didn't have real proof of it, but I actually do have like an image of it, and it's weird too because it almost looks like an alien. Like it has a round head. You can't really see any features in the video because it was like from 1990.
Not too long ago, it seems like. But yeah, it's quite a interesting thing because the energy from it travels with it. So you feel it was protecting you.
Yeah, even though my mom would say it was like that, but I feel in some way it protected me. I don't know why. It's strange. It just felt, you know, out of all my family, I mean, I'm the one that's still around basically. So I do, I guess, kind of feel that protection in a way because they think that it was like a statue that protected children, maybe, or something.
Oh, wow. And you were open
It was
enough
hard. I tried,
to go ahead.
sorry. I keep, I was like, I even tried to do research, like image search through every statue in the world. Like, I tried.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you still have it and you still feel safe with it. And
No, I don't have it. I got rid of it all. I buried it by train track a long time ago.
oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I kind of always wonder if it's still rotting away there somewhere.
Maybe another young kid got it, dug it up,
Right?
and they have good luck now. Maybe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, you have been all over with investigations and you've been to like Gettysburg and things like places like that. So can you talk about some of those places? What did you see there and how did you react to it?
Well, in Gettysburg, I definitely remember that's when I started to see like little orby dots. Like it was the first time I actually started to see like real energy, like everywhere in the sky, like little bubbles, like almost like when you see those eye things, but it wasn't like that because it was definitely energy bubbles. So then that's when I really noticed like different places have different energy, and like a place like that where a battle happened and seeing all that. I've been to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which was interesting because that's a whole different vibe because that's like the Mothman, cryptozoology, um, and that energy. It was interesting because it felt very alien and almost sciency government kind of stuff. Like there was something strange that definitely happened in that town.
So
I'm trying to think of
yeah, go ahead.
my another place. I mean, it was in PA, but that was Penhurst. That was an asylum. It was an asylum, sorry. It was actually because I did more research on it. It was for disabled um children and people. The haunted attraction calls it an asylum, so I don't like calling it that anymore out of respect for the spirits there. Because like once I went there, I really seen what it was about. Like I felt the energy there. I feel like there is a darker energy there and another government thing. I feel that energy there, but I also felt like, they were just people that were just, they had disabilities and, they were just put in those places. Like I don't think they even had a choice, you know? So like I feel like even like ghost hunters don't even go into it that level because, they're like, some of my the person that's a tour guide, he said some of the like ghost hunters will be like yelling at them and stuff, and it's like they weren't those type of people that were there. Like they're not, of course things happened, but like not a lot of the rooms. Like, some of the rooms were just music room, like, those weren't the place, they were the happy places for the spirits.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes me sad when they're yelling at him because it's like do you just go into somebody's house and just start yelling at them? That's how I feel, that's how I imagine it. I haven't done any investigations yet. Um, but that's how I feel like it should be, you know, going in
Yeah,
and being respectful with them.
yeah, they were humans. They're not, sometimes it might not be humans, but in that case, there were mainly human spirits there.
Right, right. Yeah. So that's just kind of, have you come across any that has been really nasty with you or um
You know, I I try to, not give it so much attention, because I feel like it's like duality, so that has to exist too, I guess.
yeah.
Like I know in Point Pleasant there was a hotel that we were investigating, and there was something there that was really dark, but it like, I just respect it, I don't show too much fear of it or anything like that. I'm trying to think if there's any other moments that, there's certain rooms in Penhurst that I didn't want to go in. Like there was a boiler room that I did not want to go near there. One time, this is a great story. One time my friends like to use me as like a party, fun, so they're like, let's use the Ouija board. And I don't suggest the Ouija board, but I do know professionals and I have been trained. So I don't recommend it. But
You.
but they were like, oh, let's play with it. And like they all felt like something came through like the top of the window and it was like, it looked like Nosferatus. Like it was like had like long I saw it in my head. And I'm like, and they felt it. My friends weren't even in tune that much, but they felt that come in. And I was like, they were like, I was like, yeah, something is in the room. Yeah, like something's here.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's stop. And I'm like, no, you invited it. Like, be not like, it wasn't nothing like too crazy. It could have been cryptozoology type creature. It was definitely something not, I don't know, but we survived.
Wow. Wow. So how did they bring somebody in the yeah, if I could say it, cryptozoology into them? Did they just ask for somebody in that film
Yeah.
realm or
Well, no, I just think it was whatever was nearby. I don't
okay,
know what it was. I know it was never in the house before, so.
gotcha. Well, so then they went into being nice to it and everything, talked for a bit, and then they just said, okay, now it's time for us to leave.
Exactly.
Good.
Down, that's for sure. Like,
Right, right, right.
it's that
Excellent.
sorry. I
Oh,
was like
you're
showing that
fine.
the fear's not, I don't think is good. Always
Yeah.
feel grounded when it comes to stuff like that. Even if you don't secretly feel but don't show.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to go on my first investigations and kind of going into it, getting excited to um have those experiences, because I haven't had enough of them yet to know how I'm going to react. So it'll be really interesting. We'll be talking about it, everybody, when I get done with it. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to start having some experiences and to work with them and to be able to communicate and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just cool to just see that energy is still there and experience it. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad, good. It just some kind of communication with something that's still there.
Yeah. Excited. Yeah. So you started doing that side older in your years, right? So you were older when you started doing investigations and seeing like that.
Maybe my 20s. It was definitely before my parents passed, so
Okay. So it was a little bit older, not too
yeah,
too much. It wasn't
yeah.
like a child, you have a lot of them that been doing this since childhood, since early. So yeah. So you I'm glad you did mention not to use the Ouija board
This is
because I say that too. It's like don't use the Ouija board unless you are trained or you know what you're doing with it. Because yeah, I'm glad you said that. That was really good. Um, I don't know that you have when you were around 7 and 8 years old, your dad's friend, there's some experiences with your dad's friend that your mom so that oh the statue. Oh, that was with your statue
I know, but you know what?
statues.
You reminded me of something else. What really did it was, so I had an ex-boyfriend and his grandma was like a medium in Cape May, like really big. And a family friend, he passed away. And when I went to his funeral, I went up to him and I said, because it was like, he wasn't planning. It just happened one day. He just passed, it was his time. And when I went to the funeral, I told him in this like coffin, I was like, find Gail Farace when if you need help or something. And it was crazy because then like months down the road, a neighbor decided to get a reading from her. She passed on now, but get a reading from her. And she was like, this big man came in and his name was Mike. And my mom already knew. I kind of said that anyway to him. So it was like this crazy thing. He didn't pass over, so he needed her help. And so later on down the road, he not down the road, but he she called his wife and they helped him cross over and saw all the people that like she described. It was like crazy. So like my mom talked about that forever and I was just like in shock, like, wow, this is real. Like that was really an intense moment. I think that's what really pushed me into all of it. I took medium classes um after that too.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. I mean, the little bit of experiences I have had is amazing. And it's not really scary like people say, oh, the scary freak out and screaming and all of that. No, so far for me, it's just been very like calming and just very friendly spirits. And it's been loving. I mean, you just feel the love from them. It's been wonderful. And it feels great to be able to hear them and get those
Right.
messages. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Um, you talk about any ET experiences you've had.
Oh, I'm like, where did I begin with that one too? It's such a crazy story. You know, um, I think where it first began was I remember going out to eat with my parents, and I was reading like the Mothman prophecies, and I don't think that triggered it, but it must have did something. And I remember going to bed, and I felt like something, and I was hearing like a tape recorder sound, like but I know that wasn't going on in my room, and like something was like telling me to go to the window, like I felt that like pull, but I don't know, I just ran down the stairs, but I remember going downstairs and seeing because I had a porch and I saw all these lights, like it was like lit like day. So I was like, and then after that day, because I really studied aliens at that time and got like, that moment like really freaked me out for some reason. Because I don't know what happened. And then when I started reading more of the book, it talked about alien contactee syndrome. And that's like very common for people that have contact. Maybe I don't remember. And then fast forward probably like 12, 13 years later, I kind of got too scared at that moment. But I started like looking into star seeds and Arcturian activations and Palladian stuff. And I started speaking different like light language. Like it just started coming out. um, and I feel like sometimes I channel those kinds of like entities too, you know?
Wow. So you do some light language also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love light language. I think it's so beautiful, so pretty to go with it. How did you get started with light language?
But see, I think it was that Arcturian activation by it's Articus Raw, and I don't know, something like it just started coming. It's like one of those things that I can't just like pretend to do it. It just comes out. I might do it. Let's see if I can do it. And then, so see, like I can't just like pretend to do that. Like, does it come out? And then, like, sometimes I think it's different alien like species, maybe, coming through. I definitely know it's frequency of some sort. So I make that a part of my sound healing. And I put echo on it because I feel like that like amplifies the energy of it even more. Like I like to experiment with it.
Oh no, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, yeah, that's great. So it just started coming out and you with the hands movements with it, it just kind of flowed with that also.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of takes over the energy. Usually, sometimes I don't even do the hand thing, but that happens, I guess.
So calm and relaxed with it all. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I watch people do all that light language and it's just so, so pretty and just so fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
So when you're in the downstairs looking out the window, you see all these lights. What happened?
Oh,
You
like after
remember
that?
anything?
No, that's where I think maybe something did actually happen. I just remember the next day I was like so thirsty. I didn't feel really great. Like something felt weird. But now that I look at it, it was probably like the gravity of whatever, that shift of whatever happens there, you know?
Oh wow.
Like sometimes I kind of believe that I don't feel like my body was taken, but probably my subconscious of some sort?
That's interesting.
Like a
That's
dream. Like,
interesting.
hmm,
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. When I was visited, I felt like it was a dream for many, many, many years. And that was kind of weird. It's like, yeah, it was just a dream. So have you had any missing time since then or before or after then or
just mainly then. That's you.
yeah, yeah. That's good enough. I tell you that. That's I could deal with that. I keep getting it when I'm driving.
I
And
know.
so I don't drive very much anymore. I try not to because, I don't know. I for so long I always called it falling asleep at the wheel, but looking back, I was like, was it always falling asleep at the wheel?
See, and if we look at it the way what I said, your subconscious, your body and everything's probably still driving the wheel. That's probably why you're always been safe. Like that was still there, but you weren't. You went somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think that many times because of how things happened and whatnots. And yeah, even driving my short distance I drive to work now is kind of scary sometimes because I feel like it would be like that. And I did have an experience kind of like you're saying, you're out of your body. At least I was out of my body and I knew I was in like energy form behind my head. But I had a witness on that one. So it was really weird, because
Yeah.
here I am driving, but I'm not even there having a conversation with my carpool. And yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah,
Hmm.
because it's like you don't know what you do during those times. So with
Yeah.
having that witness, it's like, oh, is that what I do when I'm gone? Yeah. So
Oh,
were you kind go ahead.
wait. You've had people witness it though?
Yes, I had
Oh,
one person witness it. Other times, no. I've always been by myself when it's happened, but this time I had a witness with me.
okay.
Yeah, I was driving, she was my passenger, so that was the scary thing too.
My gosh.
Yeah, yeah. So it was, yeah, it was really weird. I was spirit or just light or energy behind me, looking kind of like looking down from behind. And I remember struggling as hard as I could to say a single word,
Oh,
just like
wow.
really couldn't get the word formed or anything. And then I was slammed back into my body. And then I opened my eyes and I was like, whoa, the stop sign came up fast. And my carpool was like, yeah, you kind of zoned out. You drove differently than you normally do. And you were talking in slow motion. So it was like this. And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah. I even went to get checked for a stroke just to be safe, you know. But I was cool. I was good on that, you know. But I think something else happened as we were at work and we were talking during break, just kind of what happened, you know, just wow, that was just weird. And lady at the table nearby was talking with her daughter, and her daughter's like, Mom, you're weird. You didn't see any lights. And I'm like, huh? So something did
Mhm.
happen. Something did happen.
Hmm.
So yeah. But who knows? Yeah. I've been visited by the Greys. I called them my protectors. So I feel like if it was them, they were doing something to protect me. So yeah,
Yeah.
cra- crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Yeah. So was that the last time you've seen them, or have you seen lights or seen them or felt them?
I channel them sometimes. Like I used to do it a lot, but I haven't in a while. But I would get like messages from something, you know. Definitely, it feels very starseed based, you know.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like I really connect it with like the Arcadians, right? Arcadian, not Arcadians, Arcturians. There you go.
There you go.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was like Arcadians. What's that?
the
Uh,
Canadas. No, no, just kidding.
yeah.
Just kidding. No, it's pretty amazing, you know. When you channel, are you able to channel on I call it on demand. So you could just bring them in whenever, or is this something that pops in? I'm sure by this time you just do it.
Yeah, I can. I usually would try to listen to like a frequency of that or something, Palladian frequency or some kind of frequency to like really channel it, like connect with it.
Okay. Yeah. At some point I'll be there. Right now it just happens. It's coming though. It's on its way. I feel like things are happening right now. I feel like I'm moving forward in all of this. And so I feel like it's going to be coming on pretty soon. Pretty soon. So I'm feeling good with it. Feeling good. Feeling good with it. Do you want to talk about the house fire?
Oh, you froze. Oh no,
No.
you froze. I'm not
Hello.
gonna.
Hello.
Sorry, you froze for a second. Sorry.
I'm back. I'm back. um we spoke about a house on fire. Would you like to
Mhm.
speak on that?
Yeah, 8 years ago, I had a house fire. My pets didn't make it through there. It's been a real struggle for the past 8 years. It's been pretty, I pretty put myself in like a suffering type emotion, but my spiritual strength, I feel like still was like lingering everywhere.
Yeah. Have you tried speaking with your pets and they've come through?
You know, and that's like one thing that like it was the deepest message I got when they passed is like, energy never dies and that they're still here. But I feel like I need to get because I was suffering so much and like going through so much, I think it would like scared that spirit almost. It was too much for me emotionally, where I feel like now that I processed all that. And I'm not suffering, it's always gonna hurt. But now I feel like I am feeling the energy and that's what I picked up when it happened. Like, they're gonna get me like come to me when they're ready. I also feel that I may find them again in this like life. I do feel like animal spirits can reincarnate. I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. When our first dog passed, she gave us the name for our current pup, our current dog. So I thought that was really cool and how that happened. But it's it's pretty amazing how this name came about. And we were sitting there on our way home from just meeting her because she was a foster. So we are driving home, and I told my husband, I go, "This is our dog." And he's like, "No, we don't have her yet. You need to wait until they call." And I go, "No, this is our dog. She's ours." And the more we talked, it's like, the name just kind of, yeah, that's her name. So, so now we have our little Dipsy, and she's just fantastic. And what I'm gathering is our first dog came through and named her and brought her to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those tag team things. Okay, now it's your turn to take care of mom and dad.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
could just and with that they're I feel like animals are so special that they're connected with us for lifetimes. There's just something so special and everything they teach us is so beautiful.
Hmm. Yeah, they do teach a lot, and I'm still learning so much, you know. I mean, I hope I never stop, it's I don't think I will. I'm just too into it, all of this, and there's going to be so much to learn. But yeah, she's amazing what she does and how she communicates with us and everything is amazing. Truly amazing. Yeah, so it's really awesome. So, do you have any other stories you would like to share with us? And
I think I gotta think of them. I have so many. Because I worked at an occult shop, so I have all kinds of stories of, you know, things that I working there really made me see. I felt like I was almost working for Harry Potter or something like, because like I was doing spells for people, and like there was people that I remember you asked that one scary thing that like the one this was one thing that really got me. I was working and this girl came in and another coworker was working with her. And I was sitting there and like I was like telling the one girl next to her, I was like, the thing that's like attached to her, I was like, it's weird. I can like see it's like like I can see it talking. And then she just like looked at me and just started screaming, saying she's talking about me, but like there's no way she could hear me. like you know, and like I was like really freaked out because I was like, oh my God. So then I went in the back and that's what my the guy that was working on the candle for her, he said that that's what's happening at her house is that spirit or it was, I think it was something more like an evil attachment, but, was telling her anything that anybody said about her, you know, like even if
Mm.
they were in a room, so that was making her like act, so they were helping. They would say that they even said like they would make candles for her. They would never get it sometimes in the mail, or like one time they made a whole bunch and just fell off the counter. I was like, it was really crazy working. Like I wish like cameras and stuff were like big when I was like working there, because like it was definitely, experience. Like one time I was like reading this person, and I was saying, oh, I was like, oh, wait, hold on, I gotta switch the story. Like I was reading this lady, and I was like, oh, I'm picking up funeral flowers and like wedding flowers. And she's like, oh my God. I was like, what? She was like, I was at my wedding. My dad spun around to Michael Jackson and he dropped dead right on the floor. I was like, how would I know that? Like stuff like that just always like still, no matter what, still puts me in shock, Like it's
Yeah.
always surprising because it's like, how does my brain know that? Like I think it's just because like I exercise that, and I made my, and I see it in my mind, not like out in the form or anything. I
You're
just see
right.
it in my mind. Sometimes that could be anything, but like when I was working there, I had just so many experiences like that. It was pretty intense. Like there's one more story I remember. So like when we worked there, it was like little cubbies. Like each reader was in another one. So I was like talking to this person, and I was like, there was an open casket and someone put the flower down, and I heard the guy next to me. He's like, that was me. It was like his grandma. He heard that, so it was good that he like heard that message. You know,
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
all like little things that like I don't get like the full, sometimes I just get like a little glimpse of like stuff like that. But it usually means something.
Do you see faces when you close your eyes in your third eye? Do you see faces?
Well, I mean, if I try to, not like all the time. Usually it's just black and I see like blue lights. I see blue.
Well, that's good. That's good. You're speaking good. You're speaking clear. That's good. Yeah. I see faces. I see, oh, it used to be like so many faces that would just
Mm.
fly through. And then it would be not only human face, I would see ET faces, I would see animals, I would see almost anything just kind of throwing through and everything. And now when I do see the faces, they're like one or two at a time and they're closer to me. So it's not at so far in a distance. They're coming closer. So I take that as a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool. And I get colors too sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get like a let me see if I can find them again. It's a blue and a indigo. Like the blue is inside the indigo and it's
Oh, okay.
sometimes it turns into it like an eye. And yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. Once in a while I'll get some other colors in there, but most of the time it's the blue and indigo. Yeah. So who is your favorite entity, if you could tell the difference to speak with?
Hmm. I do. I feel like Saturnians definitely for some reason. I feel like they helped me evolve with the light language.
Do you feel like they're your family, your main family, like your
No,
star seed?
but I also feel connected. I definitely feel like I don't know which one it is, but I feel some like kind of bird tribe because sometimes when I draw things, I always draw like feathers. So I feel like, and I'm not sure, I haven't like really researched, but I don't know if you know any of that kind of look like birds, maybe. I know they're called the bird tribe of some sort, but I don't know if that's like alien species of some sort, but I definitely see them. It's interesting. I drew something. like when I was younger, and then I did this painting class and I drew almost the same, and I didn't even know until one day I found it, and I was like, it was always like feathers in the hair, but they almost look like leaves. And I feel like that's definitely some species of some sort.
Hmm. And always in your hair?
It's like it turns into their hair almost. Like I don't know if it's actually hair. It might be just feathers. I don't.
Yeah,
Is
it
feathers hair?
could.
If you're
If you're a bird, the feathers would be hair. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that would make sense. Um, I just heard previous life or a past life bird. So
Oh.
maybe you were a bird in a past life, but
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Avatar or something. I feel like it's like something like that. Like when I saw that movie, I kind of like think that some kind of tribe of some sort.
yeah,
Who knows? There's probably so much that existed that we don't even the tribes before the tribes.
bird within a tribe.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Is it like any specific coloring of it, or do you find different colors within them?
Yeah. Well, it's very blue or green. Blue. They seem like blue figures or like green.
Hmm, okay. Well, that's really cool.
I know I haven't done my research on that one yet.
There you go. There you go. I mean, yeah, you got some homework to do now. Yeah, that's really cool. And you're Arcturian with the Arcturians are blue, correct?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
So there might be the blue that comes in with the Arcturians. And then with the feathers, maybe it's a blend of a Arcturian and bird.
Yeah. There's so many. I have to look. There might be a Google thing of it. I don't. It's
Hey, well, yeah, it's like I say, there's so much out there. I mean, who who's to say it doesn't exist?
I know.
Anything and everything can exist. It's crazy. It's awesome.
I really can.
Yeah. With your um readings and all, have you had any really crazy stories or wild stories or any stories that just like takes your heart?
Hmm. I really have to think. What's crazy though? Like, I've done it for so long. There's like so many stories. Because I do like street fairs, so like there's just so many that and it's hard to remember everything. I used to write them back in the day because I've tried to but it's so strange how it comes through that I kind of like lose it a little bit, I guess you can say. I gotta think of some. Gotta dig up some memories here. Hmm. I told you my good ones. I remember those ones at Harry's. Trying to think of recent ones. I mean, recent ones. A lot of the stuff that I do with some of my readings, I feel like I can pick up like patterns that they're experiencing or like, like even job stuff. So like, I read a girl like maybe last week, and as soon as she sat down, I was like, "Hey, you need to start that nonprofit," and she just was like, "Whoa," So it's strange because I also I feel like recognize patterns. Not only talk to dead people, but in that, trying to think, there was another. I do remember one story. Another funeral story where I was like, something weird happened at the funeral, and the girls just start laughing because she said when they were all like doing the thing, the flowers fell and scared everyone, because they thought like the body was moving or something, you know, stuff like that makes my brain wonder, like, how do I know? So sometimes I think, I can tap into like their memories of some sort, like I don't know. I know I can sort of like talk to that energy currently, but I also feel like sometimes they show me flashes of things, um, and that's how they communicate to me, because in some way it's like, how would I even know that? Like, you know, it's like a specific thing. There's another, I forget what this one
Yeah.
girl, I was like, something funny happened with your dad, and she was like, there's another funny one, and she was like, oh my God, she was like, I was like, something with the kitchen, I remember. And she was like laughing. She was like, apparently there was a mouse, and she was like running, and her dad had to come. It was like a whole big story. So, like, she knew exactly what I was talking about, it's just
That's funny.
interesting. The little, it's even like little things that you wouldn't think, but, I think it's kind of like their sense of humor coming through sometimes, or stuff like that, I've had, um, I've had ones that were the spirit themselves didn't want to come through because, they were stubborn anyway. Like um
I
one
hear
of my
that.
yeah, one of my so when it all started is is when I started like going on trips with paranormal states. So we went to this house called Danny Brook, and some like history with Philadelphia and soldiers. It was a land that they took over at one point, and I think it might have been George Washington, but that house had so much activity, and that's when I like was just starting, and we're all like investigating or whatever, and um I'm like, this is weird, but the ghost is telling me to sing a song. And then like, so someone would sing a song, and then we'd have like, something would happen. So it was like, it was funny because like I didn't know what I was doing at the time, so I was all like, oh gosh, like why am I saying these things? Because these are like professional ghost hunters, like they had their own show, for many years, like, but like, they would listen to me. We talked about Gettysburg. I could tell many stories about in
Go
Gettysburg.
for it.
I was investigating with this like little girl in this room, and one of the paranormal state people came in, and I was like, this is strange. But since we're all in different rooms, like, trying to get ghosts to talk to us, I was like, a ghost from down the street came. Like, like, like everyone's calling this energy, and he was like, I'm just gonna leave you two with that. But I mean, who says that can't happen? You know?
No. If
Mm.
you guys are
I've had,
getting the attention,
yeah,
this girl down the street is there and say, hey, I want to go see what's going on up there. Yeah. Oh,
exactly. Like,
why
I mean,
not?
what do they have to do? They're like, let's go. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to others. It's been a crazy road, but and even me, it still surprises me every time. You know?
Yeah. My story with the 6 grays in my room, that one still gets me all the time. It still feels like it's been a dream, but I know what happened. I know what
Mm,
happened. Yeah. And connecting with others, I've channeled a couple times, and that was like you're saying, you don't remember when you're channeling or bringing information through. You don't remember what's said.
it's hard. Like sometimes in the middle of readings, I think I'll say something that maybe I wasn't exactly supposed to come out. So it'll make me forget it. Like right away, I'll be like, wait, what did I just say? But luckily the person will know. But sometimes it just like disappears. It's almost like it gets locked down. Like I wasn't, not that I wasn't supposed to say it, but maybe it was like too much for them to know, you know?
Oh,
It's
God. Yeah. Yeah.
like I get
Yeah.
zapped or something. Like, no.
Really? You've gotten zapped?
That's what it feels like. It's like that, whatever was coming out, like just zoop. I was like, darn, I lost it.
Oh, oh man. Yeah, I tried to re-say some things, and it's like I have no idea what I just said.
I know, exactly.
No idea. But I helped you out. So good. Whatever I said to you, I'm glad it helped out.
Oh, I do have one more. I do have another crazy story. Like
Go for it.
and, and I'm gonna mention it even. So it was a lady. She was filming this documentary in Philly, and I didn't know who Madame Blavatsky is. I don't know if you know who she is. You might want to look into her if you don't. But I didn't really know who she was at the time. But apparently, at the place I was one day, someone knocked on. So they turned it into a restaurant, and someone knocked on the door, or there's an apartment in a restaurant. Someone knocked on the door, and they're like, "Do you know Madame Blavatsky once lived here?" And she was very into occult and studied um the theatre. I don't know how to say it. I'll butcher it. But anyway, so I'm investigating this like place, and we have a whole film crew thing, and I got this message from her, um, and I didn't know who she was. So I got this message, and it was about dogs, and it was interesting because that dog, I don't want to mention the cafe, but it's dog themed, and it's interesting that the place got was like themed that way because she was telling me that like I guess she got forced into a marriage and the dog was like the only thing. I guess something happened to her leg. And to me, she told me it was like a ball and chain because she was just like stuck in that marriage. And that dog was the only thing that helped her like through all of that. Like if the dog wasn't there, she would have never made it through. The whole people were all crying. Like the whole film crew, afterwards they were like, was that scripted? And I'm like, no, that was
Oh,
not scripted. you know, and it was
no.
interesting. I got to like kind of do give the daughter a reading of the person that owned the business, and I was reading her, and I was like, the spirits are like saying that like there's something that happened to you in California, and that's why, because she does something about like natural water and protecting the water to be clean, and she said when she was swimming in California, this manatee like swam right past her, and but before that moment, she was like looking and she could see all the like factories in the background. Like, that made her really like decide at that moment her purpose of like clean water and stuff like that. And she became, that's where her whole like mission came. And I was like, that's why they were all like, is this scripted? Like, no, it's not scripted. I never even knew these people.
Yeah, I get that. I spoke with one lady when I first started doing this podcast, and she was telling me about driving, and her husband was driving, and they're driving down this dark road at night, and this man passes in front of them. And she looks at her husband and she said, he looks just like my dad, doesn't he? And then she said they both turned to look at the passenger window, and there was her dad. And I instantly saw this man that took up the whole window, the face of this man. And I started describing it. I think I freaked her out. I was like, but
Oh
I
my
would
God.
just, did he have like this? Did he have a round face? Da 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 da. And she kind of got off the phone pretty quickly after that. And I didn't mean to. I was just like, yeah, I'm seeing this. So it was crazy.
Right? You just got to get it out sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're new at it, you're just like, oh, I see it. I see it. I gotta tell you. At least that's how I am, anyways. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. I gotta tell you. But yeah, it's all cool. It's all fun. It's joyous. Do you have any tips for people on how to do this or how to protect yourself or anything along this line?
Well, my main thing and the stuff I'm like focusing on now is like healing yourself within before you try to get more involved in all this, making fixing your mind and and connecting it where you feel secure and safe, protect it because you're in your own body and you feel grounded in yourself is I think the main thing. You have to definitely feel grounded in yourself. I did like some scientific research on my brain now and on my genes, and I do have that weird link that helps me. I have to feel grounded whenever I do any of this because you have to feel confident enough to like speak whatever you're seeing, because other than that, you sound crazy. Sometimes I'll be like, did I just see that? But apparently that's part of my genes. Apparently I have a gene thingy that automatically processes it so fast that I really did see it, Um, a lot of us probably. Yeah. But getting your mindset into, you know, really believing and receiving what you want to accomplish with that, and but I think a lot of it is healing within yourself so that you trust yourself. And I
Sounds
like
like
frequencies. So if you want to get into the alien, YouTube frequencies for different species, that really helped me connect just different frequencies, different YouTube sounds, music, meditations.
and everyone's different, so they have different way of going about it. So yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we will be putting your information in the notes below so that anybody out there can contact her and you can help them heal some of this and or everything with your music and hypnotherapy and mediumship and Reiki. You do the Reiki with it and everything too. So yeah, so contact her, have her help you out. That'll be great. Be great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time and being here with all these experiences. And yeah, so anything you left you want to say?
It's been a journey. Our story is our purpose. That's what I feel. And I feel like everything I've experienced is all part of who I am.
Yeah, yeah. All
And
right.
I feel like the world's changing and we're becoming more aware of these things because it's part of us and who we are and our energy around us.
I feel that too. I feel that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if anyone out there has a story you would like to share, email me lighttalk423@gmail.com and we will connect. All right. We will see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye. Oh, did I do it?
I think I did it. I did. I went all funky. It didn't stop.